enter with these chariots into the house of the thief. The house of the thief. Those that are stealing things. They then stole the whole earth. Stole people. Stole lands. And now they're dealing with a technology that they don't have neither the ingenuity or the money to fight against. Read.
And it shall enter into the house of the thief.
Go ahead.
And into the house of him that swear falsely by my name.
That swear falsely by the Most High's name. And the Most High, some of these ships are picking people up, messing them up. Over their nuclear reactors, and it's totally throwing their computers out of whack, you name it. These ships are doing this. At one time, I seen this documentary over in Russia, in which a ship went over the nuclear reactor in Russia. Their military went there, and it armed their nuclear weapons. It was beyond their recollection. It just went over their nuclear reactor, and the ships actually armed their nuclear weapons. They had no control over it. It was almost a nuclear fallout based on what the ships did. They were scrambling over there. And see, that's another thing you have to realize. This left-right paradigm, this communism, democracy paradigm that they have here within this earth is a total lie, a total sham. There's no... America and Russia have been together the whole time. America is a remnant out of Europe. They're just making you think there's a difference between communism and democracy, when the Jewish powers and finances is financing both sides. While they have you thinking that it's some type of fight between Russia and America, they were in space building the space station Mir together for habitation out in space, and building weapons together out in space to prepare for the Battle of Armageddon that's coming soon. Read.
And it shall remain in the house, in the midst of this house.
And the Most High says, it shall remain in the midst of their house. Read.
And shall consume it with the timber thereof.
And shall do what?
And shall consume it with the timber thereof.
And shall consume it with the timber thereof. What is timber? Trees. It's your ships that start those forest fires. It's the ships that be starting those fires. And these firefighters be fighting against a spirit, and they can't deal with these forest fires. I seen what happened in Russia not too long ago, where the firemen said there was spirit in the fire. It's the Most High with his ships starting these forest fires to slow down their program. A lot of these places that they have these forest fires, they have secret camps underground, bunkers out in the woods. All that, and we have no idea what's going on. But the Most High be sending fire through those ships and fighting for us against these powers. We don't wrestle with flesh and blood. This is all truth here. These angelic forces are for us. They're for us because why? We're just trying to live. We're just trying to get by. We have no idea that this society and the governments that are controlling this society is at war with us. We have no idea that they are warring against us. But the Most High know. The Most High know their thoughts. He know what they're thinking. He know about their eugenics program. He know about their mass extermination of the people. He know about the poisons they're putting in our food. He know about their private bunkers underground in these different forests and different parts of caves and even in the deserts. He know about them all. And what is he using? The ships. The angelic ships. These same ships protected us when we came out of Egypt. There was a light for us by night, and they guided us by day. Those were the chariots of the Most High that made that fire in between the Pharaoh and in the Israelites' camp. That was a chariot. That was a chariot of the Most High. And the Most High is going to start bringing them more and more and more. The closer we get, the more activity you'll see. Let's go to Acts 1 and 9. Acts 1 and 9.
Acts chapter 1 verse 9.
And let me say this. These things don't surprise us at all. They don't surprise me at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. The scriptures go into these chariots. The scriptures even tell you to some degree how they operate, how they work. And the closer we come to the end, we'll see this activity. The Most High's army is in the earth, working for us. Man, we just trying to get a meal. A lot of people don't know what to do. We don't know who's fighting against us. But the Most High have an angelic force, angelic forces, a host of angelic forces that are doing His will within the earth. Read.
Acts chapter 1 verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
A what received him?
And a cloud received him out of their sight.
And a cloud received them out of his sight. Let's see what that cloud is. Go to Psalms 104 and 3. Hold that and get Psalms 104 and 3. Let's see what this cloud is.
Psalms chapter 104 verse 3.
Listen to this clearly. Psalms 104 and 3. Go ahead.
Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters.
It says, He layeth the beams of His chambers in the waters. I don't know if any of you seen that movie back in the day called The Abyss, that showed the ships coming out of the waters. Or when they fly over the waters, you can see the reflection of the ships off of the waters. Or the beams, like neon, off of the waters. Read.
Who maketh the clouds his chariot.
He maketh the cloud his what?
Who maketh the clouds his chariot.
And it tell you in the scriptures that the clouds are a covering for the Most High's chariots. So when it's talking about clouds, it's not talking about the clouds you're seeing up in the sky. The clouds are the coverings for the chariots of the Most High. Who maketh the clouds his what?
Who maketh the clouds his chariot.
Who maketh the clouds his chariots. A chariot is something that people are known to ride on for transportation. Okay? In the ancient relics, in the ancient archaeology, you see these ships. Even in the Mayan pyramids, you see these ships. In the Egyptian pyramids, they talk about these ships. All in ancient Babylon, they were talking about these ships. Who maketh the clouds his chariots, read.
Who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
And they walk upon the wings of the wind. So they ride on the sky. See that? Those are the chariots of the Most High. See, and people like to talk about Christ in the church and all that, but they don't link up in the precepts and show how in the Old Testament the Most High used to come down on the tabernacle on a chariot, or what you would call a cloud, and sit in the tabernacle. Even in the Mayan pyramids, even though they were going off, they had it in a circular, they had a circular part in the middle in which chariots used to come down in and deal with the Mayans. Now, of course, Satan have his ships also. So Satan is only mimicking the ships or chariots of the Most High, because they started building their ships under the Pentagon in the 40s and 50s in America, and tried to hide it with the thing that happened with Roswell, when they were using chariots or their fake chariots with these Nephilim beings. Let's go back to Acts 1 and 9.
Acts chapter 1 verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
So when Christ was taken up, one moment here. One moment. Okay, I got him out of the way. All right. Acts 1-9, read it.
Acts chapter 1 verse 9. When he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
And a cloud received Christ out of their sight. This happened after Christ was resurrected. The last time the disciples seen Christ, a chariot took Christ up out of their sight. Now listen what it says next. Read.
Verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel.
These were angels. Go ahead.
Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yeshua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in the like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
He shall do what?
This same Yeshua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
So the same way you've seen Christ go out into the cloud and leave us, he's coming back the same way. So what is he coming back with? Clouds, chariots. He's coming back with an army of what this world called UFOs. And the Pentagon and the militaries of this earth understands this and knows this. They know this. So they try to make the so-called UFOs, this unidentified flying object, some type of mystical sci-fi myth to make people think they didn't see what they're seeing. And they try to make it something like science fiction. But they know these things have been operating since the beginning of our time. Since the beginning of the world. The chariot's been operating in the Most High's connection with what they call the connection with alien life. If you look at the word alien, Alahayan, it comes from the word angels. It's not alien at all. It's contact with the spiritual realm. The word alien, when you break it down, is Alahayan, which is an angelic force. So they know that the Most High would begin to connect with his people the way he did in the Old Testament, when the chariots came down on the tabernacle and dealt with Moses. The chariots came down and dealt with the children of Israel, protected the children of Israel coming out of Egypt, fought against Pharaoh's army coming out of Egypt. And guess what? They're going to fight for us again.